basically saying we created another system apart from that. Yeah, it says RRK Solutions Limited, but it's not really a loan business. But we created another system. The first system that we created was a bookkeeping system, and there's a video of that system on YouTube. And then the second system that we created is the payroll system, which could create 100 pay slips by just clicking one button. So you just click a single button and then it will create 100 pay slips for you. Now, this time around, we thought of making something even much better. Okay. Or like, okay, there was a request. That was brought to us. Someone was like, okay, I want a loan spreadsheet. I want a loan system that can track my loans, monitor my cash flow, an inbuilt cash book, and also have an income statement. And then I want that same spreadsheet to be able to do a bank reconciliation and also have a bit of some configurations. So it's like, okay, yeah, I believe we can make it happen, and that's exactly what we did. We made it happen. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we are going to talk about what this is, how it's going to help any business, mainly loan business or any business that's doing anything, because we also have cash books in here, income statements, bank records, and cash flow statements. Okay, or basically any business, or basically any accountant who is practicing. Okay, all right, perfect. So apart from that, what we are going to talk about again is how this was made. So we are going to take a look at the formulas that I used. I'll unprotect some of them so that you can actually see the formula that I used on most of them. Okay, and I'll be explaining any Excel concept that I used in terms of creating this, so that you see how easy it is to make it if you master Excel, and how learning Excel is very, very interesting. All right. So what you can see right now is the what I call the business dashboard. So it's a summary. Okay, it's a summary, but I won't really focus on the summary because my main focus is on all the details pertaining to this particular spreadsheet. And then after we look at all the details, that's when we'll get to the summary. The summary is our last point. Besides, the summary is a report. It's a loan report, or let me say a business report. Here, talking about our revenue, it has got a mini income statement, the cash balance, and also the total amount of money that we dispersed in terms of loan, the total amount of money that we are expecting to receive, that's plus the interest, and the repayments that have been made, and the balance remaining in the month. Okay, so that's the loan summary, or the business dashboard, or basically the business summary. And this can be used not just as a loan tracker, but to actually track everything pertaining to the business, or expenses. If you have any other incomes, this can also track it. Okay, so let's start with the client details. Who cruise through the client details, and I'll tell you what I did. Okay, so firstly, I'll show you how it works. And then after showing you how it works, I'll unprotect it if it's protected, or which I'm assuming it's not. Okay, it's not protected. So I'll show you what it does. And then after showing you what it does, then I'll show you how I made it. Okay, what I did for it to do that. Okay. All right. So firstly, I just want to check if there's anyone else who is trying to join, because every single time someone wants to join, I'll have to let them in. So I have to go back and forth. I go back firstly, I check if there's anyone who's trying to join, and then just like that. So I'll check at some other point again, maybe after a few minutes. Okay, so here we just put in the client ID. So by client ID, it depends with your business. Okay, if you prefer to use the client's NRIC numbers, that's okay. But what I can suggest is for you to actually give every loan client a unique identification number. Like for instance, I can say CL, which is for client, and then CL0001, or maybe 0050, depending with your starting number. And then the full name, I'll type my name here. The next thing is the full name. It's just a normal name. So I'll say Ronald Kashweka. That's my name, by the way. NRC number, we can say 292701/71/1. Okay, and then the date of birth, I'll put some random dates. I'll put the correct month and the correct, let's say 31st. I'll say May, and we can say, yeah, 1980. Okay, so we'll put the date of birth there, and then when it comes to the gender, I'll type something else randomly first. See, I can read this. I'll just type something else randomly. If we click enter, it will tell us, sorry, the system does not recognize this gender. The reason why this does not recognize the gender is because the information that we've entered here on our gender is not in our system. What's our system? Our system is represented by the configurations. The configuration is the brains or the heart of this particular system. So our system only has two genders, that's male and female. So I linked that particular column, the entire column, to this particular column. Okay, and I only picked these two genders. So if you have another unique gender that you want to add, then you just have to type it here and the system will recognize it. What did I use to do this? So what I used is data validation. I did data validation, list for data validation, and an error for data validation, of which I typed the error myself. Okay, but the other thing that it can do, apart from showing you the error, is giving you a drop down list. Where is it getting this particular information? It's getting this information from the configuration. Like I said, the configuration is the brain box. Okay, the configuration is the brains. Okay, that's our settings. That's where the main info is. Okay, so the information that is there is what our system picks. You can, by the way, it's protected, so you can't really just edit anything unless you type in a password, you unprotect it, then you add any information that you need to add. Then after you add that particular information, that's when the system can pick that gender. For now, it only has male and female. And then there's one unique thing that I did on the phone numbers. Firstly, let me pick the gender. I'll say male because I'm male. Let me pick the phone number. So the phone number, I don't really need to type it. I don't really need to add the country code. The way this was created is it should use up a Zambia country code format. So we formatted this particular cells, all the cells for the phone numbers to this. We used custom sort and picked the Zambian format. Let me show you something. If I want, I can say 07723643225. This is just my number, right? Yeah, this is the correct number. 07723643225. I put in a 5 as well. And then I just enter. It will definitely give it the code because it recognizes this number as a Zambian number. WhatsApp, I can do the same thing. Let me put a different number. 0969523896 is recognizing it. But let me put the same number, 07723643225. It's showing us that these two numbers are the same and you don't really need to repeat it. If this particular client has got the same number as a phone number and there's a WhatsApp number, then you can only put it once. You can either make it a phone number or you can make it a WhatsApp number, okay? So there's no need for me to add this. Residential address, I'll just say Livingston. This doesn't really have anything special. And then occupation, we might say accountant. Employer, I'll just put in a random employer. Let's say I work for ShopRite. I don't actually work for ShopRite. And then I'll type ShopRite. Email address, I'll put my actual email address. It's also recognized as an actual email address. So I'll put Kashweka Ronald 31 at gmail.com. Kashweka Ronald 31 at gmail.com. So let me just check again if there's anyone. Okay, all right. So basically that's how we do it. Okay, that's how we do it. So let me just finish it. So this I can even, by the way, this is not protected. I can increase the size. It doesn't really matter. Registration date. This is the date that you registered your client. We can say we registered our client on the 1st of May. And the status of our client, the same way we actually linked our gender to our configuration is the same way we linked our status to our configuration. So it will give us a number of status. We can say active, inactive, and blacklisted. Okay, and then referrer, we can, on the referrer, it can only recognize Ronald because no person can refer anyone if they're not in our register. So it picks this list of It basically gets our register list, and we pick from our register list who is our referrer. In this case, Ronald Kashweka is not our referrer, because the same person who is getting that loan shouldn't be the referrer. Okay, and then the collateral, if it's a TV, you put the TV, you describe it properly, you do whatever you need to do. Okay, and then you just add in all the information, the client document. So on the client document, this is actually meant for links. So we designed the system. The plan is like this. Okay, the plan is like this. We create a folder on Google Drive for you on using your email, and then after we create that, we create individual folders for all your clients. Every single time you get a client, you create a folder and you add all their documents. It might be an NRC, a passport, or anything, a photo or anything. You basically add everything there, and what you get is the link to that folder, and the link is what you put here, so that every single time you come here, when you click that link, it will take you to that folder, and then the remarks, anything that you want to say, about that particular anything that you want to say about that particular customer or client. Okay, so that's the client details. All right, let me go on the loan tracker. So this is something that is unique. Okay, this is something that is unique. Let me show you something. If I click here, it will only give me one name, Ronald Kashweka, because that's the only name in the register. So what this loan tracker does is that it gets the details from the loan register and brings it to the client details. Is basically meant for you to put information. Okay, it's basically meant for you to put information. That's where you go, so that you register someone into your system. After you register them into your system, now that's when the work actually begins. So you go to your loan tracker, you check if someone is in your register. If they're in your register, it means you have all the information pertaining to that particular person. Okay, if they're in your register, it means you have all the information pertaining to that particular person. Then you click that person, the name of that person. If you type any other name here, the system will not allow you. Why? The system will tell you something. Let me show you. If I were to type something randomly here and then I press enter and say, sorry, the system does not recognize this client. If it's a new client, kindly add her or him to the client register. Thank you. Okay. So basically, it's only picking the names that are in your register. If the name is not in the register, then it won't be recognized by the system, and the system will not allow you to actually give that person a loan, or to actually put that name in your system under the loan tracker. Okay, so we go to the dispersed amount. How much are we giving this person? Let's just imagine this. We are giving Ronald Kashweka 1,000 kwacha. Okay, so I know you're probably looking, oh, there's 1,000 kwacha here, and then there is total value, total due value, balance value, payment status value. It's showing errors. The reason why it's showing errors is because you haven't given the system full information. The full information is when you are going to disperse that loan and your interest rate. So the when is the disbursement date. So if we give the person a loan on the 1st of May 25, okay, it would tell us that the days that have passed are 21 days. So from the time we gave this individual a loan, the days that have passed are 21 days. That's the days elapsed. It hasn't calculated a due date yet because it does not know your interest category. What I did in this particular system, I created 3 separate interest categories. Let me show you something. This is very interesting. So the 3 interest categories are: month is at 35%. A month has 30 days. So that's the reason why the system is not showing you the due date. But if you put month, it will calculate it for 30 days at 35%. If you put 21 days, it will calculate it for 21 days, that's the due date, and a 30%. If you put it for 14 days, it will calculate it at 20%, and it will calculate the due date at 14 days. Isn't that interesting? Okay, so I actually believe that's very, very interesting. Okay, let me show you something. So the due date, it won't really allow you to even click here. Days elapsed, it won't even allow you to click here. The only thing you can click on is the interest category, and it won't allow you to create another category. It will only allow you to pick a category that's already in the system, depending with your interest per certain number of days. Okay. All right, let me show you something. Let's say I pick a month, that's 30 days. It's showing me watch list. Okay, I'll reach that far end. Okay, so it's 30 days. Now it's showing me this loan was disbursed on the 1st of May, but if it's 30 days, it will be due on the 31st of May. And so far, 21 days have elapsed. But what if we say it's 21 days? It will be due on the 22nd of May, which is today, because days elapsed is 21. But what if we say it's 14 days? It will be due on the 15th of May. Days elapsed 21. What does that mean? This loan is unpaid and it's in critical overdue category. It's critical, meaning someone hasn't paid. And the most interesting thing about this is that this date is connected to today's date. So if I were to leave this spreadsheet, if I just leave it exactly the way it is, I won't do anything. I just put this information. Tomorrow, this days elapsed to change automatically on its own to 22 days. Mr. Moses, isn't that interesting? Hello, Mr. Moses. What do you think about it? Isn't that interesting? Yeah, a system that can change a date automatically without you doing anything. You don't need to touch your computer. You don't need to touch your keyboard. You don't need to press anywhere. Okay. You do not need to do anything. The only thing you're supposed to do is type in, oh, I have given this person this much uh, today, this date. The system will tell you when that money will be due, and the system will calculate the interest based on the information you put in the system. The system will be calculating the days per day because it's connected to the current date. So today is the 22nd, it's saying 21 days. Tomorrow will be the 23rd, it will change to 22 days. On the 24th, it will change to 23 days. It's connected to today's date, and I don't need to change it manually. It will change on its own. It's an automatic system connected to the date. Doesn't use the internet, just uses Excel, and is connected to the current date. Interest automatically calculated as per your system information, and your system information can be updated as well. It can be made, it can be tailor-made as per your business needs. If you have a loan business, I believe it can be made in a way that will actually even benefit your business, and in a way that will be a direct replica of what you do. Okay, so we have the total due here. It calculates the total due, and then the amount paid. If I were to say, this amount is they paid 500, it will show me a balance of 500, and it will change to partially paid. The payment date here, you just need to type it in. It will show me the partially paid. Okay, because we paid 500. But if we pay 800, it will still be partially paid. But this will change again. But imagine if we pay 1,200, it will show fully paid and there's no amount outstanding. It will show fully paid and there's no amount outstanding. It's only showing critical because even though they paid, these people were late. All right, but there's also another interesting thing that it does. Let me show you this. The number of days elapsed is 21, okay? Days elapsed is 21. But if I were to change this, to let's say the 1st of January, it's saying fully paid, so it hasn't even changed. And then I remove the amount paid. I say it's 0 because they haven't paid anything. This will turn to a bad debt. It will be an expense on the business. The reason why it does all this, because this is connected not only to the cash flow, not only to the cash book, not only to the bank reconciliation, but also to the income statement. So when it says bad debt here, the income statement will pick it up as a bad debt. Don't forget, a bad debt is an expense in your system. A bad debt is an expense in your system. So the system will actually pick it up as a bad debt. Okay. All right. Let me just. Okay, so this is how the loan tracker works. So the loan tracker, you put in information. You just need to put in the client name of which it will pick the information from the register, the amount you disperse, and the disbursement date. It will automatically calculate the due date based on the interest category. Okay, and then it will automatically calculate the days elapsed because it's connected to the current date. Okay, and then it shows you your total due. The only thing you need to put in again is the amount paid, if they pay or when they pay, and the date that they pay, and then it will give you the information, the status, and then it will also show you if a loan is overdue, if it's critical, if it's okay, or if it's watch list. Okay means everything is okay. Watch list means it's almost due. Critical means it was due a long time ago. These people were supposed to pay. Let me just show you something. So let me change the disbursement to date to the first. No, let me say 25th of April 25, like this. Okay, it's still critical because they were supposed to pay on the 9th of May, and oh, because it's 14 days. But if I were to change this to 21 days, it will still be critical because it has 27 days have elapsed, but it's supposed to be 21 days. But if I change this to a month, it will be watch list because 27 days have elapsed, but it's supposed to be 30 days a month. So watch list is basically our system talking to us, our system telling us that this loan that you gave someone, it's almost due. So note that this is automatic. It changes on its own. Every single time you open this, you can just look at this information. You check the days elapsed, and then you check the overdue category. It will tell you if it's almost due, watch list, if everything is okay, and also if it's overdue, which is critical. All right, perfect. Okay, so basically that's how the loan tracker works. Now let's go to the cash book, a simple cash book. So a cash book is very straightforward. Okay, that's got a date, description, category, receipt, payment, and payment method. So date, we just put in the particular date. Let's say, for instance, today, 22nd of May, 25. A description, just write anything you want to say about whatever. Let's say rental payment, about your transaction. And then the category, it will give you all expenses. See, it has got operational expenses, bad debts. I even have a number of things that are not really expenses. I just thought of just putting everything here, but I can also change that. Okay, so let's say it's an operational expense. Okay, and then it's an operational expense. And how much did we pay? We spent 20,000 kwacha on rentals. We spent 20,000 kwacha on rentals, and the payment method we used is a bank transfer. We send money from our bank account to another bank account for a rental payment, 20,000 kwacha. Okay, let me show you what it does. So this 20,000 will automatically be picked by the income statement as an operational expense. Let me show you another thing. Let's say on the same date, we made another payment, stationary. Okay, we made a stationary payment. And then this stationary payment, let's say it's operational expense. It's possible to actually group your expenses as per the way you want them. You might have stationary expenses, marketing expenses, a number of expenses exactly the way you want them. That's actually okay. But me, I just decided to group everything like this to make everything easier, especially because when I was making this, I was thinking of small businesses. So I didn't want it to be very complicated. But we can make it bespoke, okay? We can make it unique, basically as per your business needs. So let's say stationery is 500 and we paid for stationery in cash. Okay, all this is data validation. That's the reason why we can pick the category and the payment method. It won't allow you to type anything else here unless what you have in the configuration. Like I said, the configuration is the brains of the system. Okay, all right, let's check our income statement now. Our income statement now has 20,500. Our operational expenses have increased. So what does this do? It tracks everything from your cash book to the income statement. The income statement in this system was designed in a unique way, in a special way. The reason I'm saying so is because you don't need to do anything on the income statement. The income statement is fully protected. You do not need to type anything here. It's fully protected. Everything that it needs, it basically picks from the information you put in your cash book and any other data entry slot that I put up in the system. And let me just unprotect it. I'm just unprotect it. So unprotect it. Okay, so I use the sum if functions. Okay, let me just do something. Let's say I go to the page layout. I want to remove the lines. There's a way I actually like it. Okay, let me just remove the grind lines and the headings. Yeah, like this. I actually like it more like this. Okay, and then also it's in a printable format. Let me just show you something. Okay, so it looks like this. It's in a printable format. You can print it. It shows your business name, the name of the financial statement, the month, and everything else that you need on an income statement. All right, and it's showing us our loan income because that's the only money we issued. We only issued 1,350 to Ronald. We issued 1,350 is actually the 35% interest. Okay, so I'll protect it again. It's also in a printable format. Okay, so I'm not really done on the cash book. Let me just check this again apparently. Okay, so I'm not really done on the cash book. I want to show you something. That was just the expenses. Let me show you about the incomes. So if I say 22 May 25 here, and I say it's a loan repayment. This loan repayment, if I were to pick here, the categories will all be expenses unless I put the amount. So if the loan repayment is 50,000, I put 50,000 on the receipt amount here. And then I click on the category and then it will give me incomes. Okay, and then so firstly you put your receipt, and then after you put your receipt, you come on the category, it gives you income, and then you pick loan repayments, and then you go to how they paid you the loan. Was it cash? Was it Airtel money? So let's say bank transfer because it's a huge amount of money. It wouldn't really be proper to use cash. Okay, so now that we've put the information, what is it going to affect? Is it going to affect our income statement? Not really. It won't be affect our income statement because that's just a loan repayment. Okay, what affects the income statement is the total amount of money that we have given out, because that will be our revenue. The cost of sales is the amount we have given out, and the revenue is the total receipt that we'll receive, including the interest. Okay, so that's why that doesn't affect the income statement, but it affects the bank recon, because under the bank recons we have inflows of 50,000. Okay, so on the bank recon, what you're supposed to put your cash in hand. Let's say I have 500 kwacha and 5,000 kwacha respectively in my bank. Then you to calculate it like this. Apart from affecting your bank recon, it will also affect your cash flow. Your bank recon has 35,000, your cash flow has 35,000. Your cash flow is like this: RK Solutions Limited cash flow statement for May 2025. Cash flows from operating activities. You have loan repayments received 50,000 kwacha in this month. Other incomes we don't have yet. Imagine if we go back to our cash book and we have another receipt on this exact date, and that other receipt, we can say it's a discount. Let me not say discount. Let me just name it as other income, because I'm not sure any other income that will be running. Okay, so if I pick this, it will give me all expenses. But if I put maybe let's say a 2,000 here on the receipts, it will give me all incomes. And then I pick other incomes, and then I say, how did I receive the other income? I got it in cash. All right, perfect. I got other income in cash. Let me go to my bank recon. Now it has 37,000. Okay, let me go to my cash flow. Now my cash flow has 37,000 because it has got other incomes of 2,000. Let's say in the same month, we give out a loan. Okay, so let's say on the 22nd of May 25, we give out a loan, and we say loan dispersed RK, which is a brand name, Rand Kashweka, and then we say it's an expense, and that expense is a loans dispersed. And then we dispersed about 25,000 kwacha. And we send this money to our client via bank transfer. If we were to check our bank recon, it will be 12,000 because we gave our money. If we were to check our income statement, we have a 25,000 that we've given out. Okay. Basically, what if it's like this is showing us that we don't have this 25 because it's wrong here. The reason why it's wrong is because we only have the 25,000, the cash book. The cash book is saying we gave out this money, but the loan tracker doesn't have it. Okay, unless we put 25,000 kwacha here, the details of who we've given it to. So let me say 25,000 kwacha here, then it will be more proper because it will show us our loan income, which is the same 25,000 kwacha plus the interest on the 25,000 kwacha. And then here we have the 25,000 kwacha with less, and then it will give us the gross profit and then expenses and then, the profit to make. Okay, so we have a massive expense. That's the reason why we're on a loss. Okay, so it will affect our bank reconciliation as well, which is also in a printable format, and then it will also affect our cash flow. So our bank recon 12,000 and our cash flow have to agree, and the cash flow and the bank recon, the bank information, the bank reconciliation is supposed to agree with the bank statement. So basically, in your bank statement, you are supposed to have a closing balance of 12,000 kwacha. Okay, that's how it is. And then apart from the cash flow, here we have loans dispersed, operational expenses. That's on the operating activities. We have investing activities when you sell a non-current asset or when you buy a non-current asset. We have financing activities. That's your capital. Let's say, for instance, we put capital in our business. Let's say on the 22nd of May 25, we brought in capital. So the capital is actually an income. So we can say 50,000 capital, and then we put in 50,000 worth of capital. We say capital here, and we got the capital via a bank transfer. If we check our cash flow will be better because we'll have capital, a financing activity. Capital is under the financing activities, and also the other thing that we might find under financing activities is loans, like long-term liabilities. But I didn't really include the loans here. And then the other thing that you'll find here is the dividends paid. When we pay our client, if this is a company, if we pay our shareholders dividends, then the dividends paid will be here, will reduce the capital. Let me show you something. If I go to my income, to my cash book, and I say on the 22nd of May 25, we paid dividends to Ronald. We paid dividends to Ronald, and then the dividends that we paid, so I just have to pick dividends paid. The dividends that we paid are, let's say, 10,000. Okay, and we paid these dividends via a bank transfer, an electronic bank transfer. I'll have to check my bank recon. It's 52. It is accounted for everything. That transaction won't affect my income statement because it's not an expense. Instead, it reduces the equity element. It reduces retained earnings in a business, so it reduces capital. Okay, bank recon will be 52, cash flow will be 52 because now we have less our dividends of 10,000. Okay, and then basically this is how the loan tracker system works. It has got the cash flow statement, not a cash flow movement system, but a cash flow statement, a bank reconciliation, an income statement, a cash book, an inbuilt cash book, a loan tracking system that monitors when you give money to someone, the days elapsed, and it even shows you when that amount is due or when it's close to due. It communicates through various means that we actually put up, and a customer register that you can even link to your customer documents. Okay, so basically this that's what the loan tracker does. And apart from that, it has got the configurations, which is the heart of the system. And then the final report that it produces is what I term as the dashboard. The dashboard is a summary. It's a summary report of everything. Okay, so if you want to see a mini income statement, you see it on the dashboard, printable format. just like this. If we were to compare, you see, we have net profit of 9,750, which is a loss. And then I check the income statement. I guess I didn't put the income statement here. I just have the bank record, cash book, loan tracker. Okay, I'll have to link the income statement. Okay, so if I were to compare this to the income statement, I'll find the 9,750. Okay, we have 52,000 here. If I were to compare the 52,000 to the cash flow, I'll have to find the 52,000 there. Okay, so that's how it works. So we have a 52,000 here. Uh, just 1 second. Okay, and then here we have a 52,000 as well. So basically, this is our loan tracking system. This is what I designed. This is what I made. And I mainly use data validation to actually link a number of columns to other columns in separate sheets. And I use the number of if functions and instructions. I didn't use any advanced Excel. In our last spreadsheet, we actually used the advanced Excel, but in this particular one, we didn't use any advanced Excel. It's just normal formulas, straightforward formulas, if functions. And some formulas we are very, very long. Let me just show you something. Let me just protect this. I just want to show you how how much effort we actually put in creating this. Okay, so just check out this. Okay, so if you want to see the entire formula, let me see if it's possible to see the entire formula. Okay, it's not showing us the entire formula. Let's see if we can see it from here. So this is the entire formula. This is the entire formula that I put it. Month, watch list, critical, watch list, critical. So basically, this is the entire formula. So this shows how much we actually do when it comes to automation. And we did this for all the sheets, okay? So all this does the same. Everything is linked and everything has a formula. And the main reason why this is protected is not really to ensure that you don't really have access to edit this, but is the main reason why you protect this is to make sure that you don't accidentally edit it. Because like you see, like you saw, the formula is actually a bit complicated. It's a bit complex, so it needs a bit of some advanced Excel knowledge for someone to be able to actually make it. Of which is that's why we actually have Excel lessons in case someone wants to learn on how to do something like that. All right. Otherwise, this is our loan tracking system, and this is what it does.